Not only could the rise in tariffs affect families, it could also impact the sales of American-made sports equipment, such as golf clubs and baseball mitts that are exported to Europe and Asia.
Websites like FanDuel are designed to make sports betting more accessible. And all you need is your name, social security, and address, and you're one click away from making a bet. West Virginia was the 5th state to legalize sports betting in 2018.
Where the per seat contributions are determined by seating location. Higher demand sections require a larger donation, while more affordable options remain available in other areas of the arena.
Skiers and snowboarders aged 6 to 17 make up Snowshoes Forever Wild team. Today, competitors start at the top of this mountain, and after a few jumps, twists, and turns, they'll make their way towards the finish line.
Kelly's competitive spirit has been shown all across the field this season as he's played catcher and left field for the Mountaineers.
The bill requires all drivers to switch lanes when passing stationary authorized vehicles, looking to end work zone related accidents.
On first team was Sergio Ors Navarro, Max Broughton, and Ryan Baer. And on second team, Marcus Caldera and Mark Bonaire.
According to a study done by Yale University, these tariffs could cost the average American household nearly $3,800 a year. That's almost 5% of the median household income.
These climbers are dealing with some seriously tough walls. You can see the grit and focus on their faces. One slip, and it's back to the mats. But for them, it's all part of the thrill.
Last March, DeVries inked a 5-year contract with West Virginia worth up to $50 million. Less than a year later, DeVries has guided the Mountaineers to 3 top 10 wins, including one inside this building.
Many college athletic departments plan to send most of the money they generate to football and men's basketball players, while women's sports would see less than 5% of that share. DeVries has an overall career record of 120-55, and his 6 seasons as head coach at arenas like this one. He led Drake University to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, making it to the first round in 2023 and 2024.
Coming up on WVU News, I'm James Daly, and I'll tell you about how new tariffs will have an impact on factories and companies all across the U.S.
While Small ranked 9th in rebounding and 10th in minutes played, it was his free throw shooting that got people's attention. He ranked 4th among all Big 12 players last season.
They added 6 transfers and 2 freshmen. Of the 13 total players, 3 of them are international students.
I'm Jackie Gunther, and after the break on WVU News, I'll tell you about the annual robotics competition held here at West Virginia University. Ball Blue.
In a statement from the university, athletic director Ren Baker said while the athletic staff is focused on preparing the team for their upcoming bowl game,
it's time for our injury report. Staying with the Bucks, Evans and Godwin went down with leg injuries. Evans is said to be out through the Buccaneers' Week 11 bye, and Godwin's season is expected to be over after dislocating his ankle. However, it has been an especially bad week to be a quarterback. Deshaun Watson's season has ended after rupturing his Achilles. Jaden Daniels is considered week to week after a rib injury. And finally, Andy Dalton is listed as out after injuring his thumb in a car crash on Tuesday. Thankfully, everyone appears to be safe.
Finally, here's our picks for this week's Thanksgiving matchups. First, the Lions will defend their den against the Bears. Expect Detroit's D to shut down a struggling Chicago offense. Next, my Cowboys host the Giants in Jerry World. It won't be pretty, but them boys should get the job done. Finally, the Dolphins travel to Green Bay, where the Packers will freeze them out and send them home with a cold plate to end Thanksgiving.
More than 60 million children play youth sports across the country, and the cost quickly adds up for their parents. Dollar for dollar, Corey Kortsis says ice hockey is the most expensive.
It's definitely our favorite. Not only are you paying a lot of money for the equipment, you're paying a lot of money to play in these leagues and on these teams because it's so expensive to play, practice.
President Donald Trump's increased tariffs on foreign goods could actually impact the price parents pay for their kids to participate in these sports. Companies like Adidas and Nike are largely manufactured in Vietnam and China, which Trump proposed 36% and 125% tariffs on respectively.
Not only could the rise in tariffs affect families, it could also impact the sales of American-made sports equipment, such as golf clubs and baseball mitts that are exported to Europe and Asia.
Higher prices can lead to a decrease in consumer spending, impacting local businesses.
If people just don't have like a increased income to go along with increased costs, then yeah, that could be a definite strain.
Stores are expected to experience delays in deliveries and are being advised to order merchandise well in advance. In some cases, they'll have to order smaller quantities to stock their shelves because of the increased prices. For the Quartz's family, they already spend more than $2,500 every year for Nico to play hockey, and he says he can't imagine his life without it.
That means everything. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to play this sport.
So Nico's father says he may just have to spend even more.
A.J. Warren is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Abraham Link in Bridgeport, West Virginia. It's a wholesale flooring distributor that relies on imported goods from foreign countries. Warren says President Trump's tariff announcement is creating challenges for his business.
The challenge is the uncertainty, because it makes it very difficult to have stable supply chain and to make good decisions about the future of your business when you don't know what the administration is going to do from one day to the next.
Warren imports products from around the world, including China and Canada, which are both on President Trump's list.
The proposed tariffs could cause an increase in prices that affect both the consumer and factories like this one.
The cost of a tariff is paid by the importer of goods, but it is then passed on to the consumer through higher prices. For Warren, this means the flooring he sells will be more expensive. But the tariffs also impact other industries in West Virginia, like coal and natural gas. China has implemented a 15% tariff on these resources that come directly from the mountain state.
Well, in addition to coal, gas, and oil, we sell a lot of other things to Canada, Mexico, and China, specifically from West Virginia. So this isn't just a national issue. It's not just going to hurt exports nationally. It will hurt us specifically here in West Virginia as well. This could lead to businesses being hurt. This could lead to job losses in West Virginia.
Political scientists say Trump's tariffs are likely a tactic to achieve his political goals.
But the bottom line is he's using it as a negotiating tool. We're not truly sure what he wants from Canada or from Mexico, but it's a negotiating tool.
National reports say Trump wants Mexico and Canada to combat drug trafficking and illegal immigration by increasing policing at the border. But Deskin says the result of the tariffs is now simple.
Less trade, fewer imports, fewer exports, higher prices.
Trump has paused the tariffs for Canada and Mexico for 30 days. Chinese tariffs have already taken effect.
4, 3, 2. An average of 180 inches of snow falls on Snowshoe Mountain yearly. Snowshoe's Forever Wild ski and snowboard team is taking advantage of all that powder.
I love skiing here. It's one of the best places on the East Coast to ski. I love it up here.
The Forever Wild team competes in the USA Snowboard and Free Ski Association's Appalachian Series with hopes for their athletes to be a part of the 1,800 competitors at the national competition at the end of March.
We have a pretty rigorous training schedule throughout the year, so we make sure they're getting as many reps as possible.
In order to get the necessary training, many of the kids who make up the team are homeschooled, and after they do their work in the morning, they're hitting the slopes.
I love doing homeschool. It gives me a lot of free time, and I'm grateful that my parents have given me this opportunity to do it.
The Forever Wild team started 5 years ago and features athletes from West Virginia, Virginia, and North Carolina. Skiers and snowboarders aged 6 to 17 make up Snowshoe's Forever Wild team. Today, competitors start at the top of this mountain, and after a few jumps, twists, and turns, they'll make their way towards the finish line. While Forever Wild is one of the top teams on the East Coast, for Coach Ruckel, it's not just about the competition. It's watching athletes develop on and off the slopes.
And we get to see the progression, we get to grow with these kids, we get to be part of their home lives. So I think that's the most important to me.
Snowshoe is one of 5 locations that hosts USASA's Appalachian Series. Connor White, WVU News, Snowshoe.